Welcome to a second update today in which I am currently in Dortmund, but we're still providing a fundamental update on the markets. And today we're not going to do it about any random altcoin. We're going to discuss DeFi with Sushiswap. But before we're going to continue, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's free of charge. Liking the YouTube update is also free, so do not forget to do that. And finally, do not forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram where I make daily content on the markets. So today we're going to do a new update in the fundamentals section, and I've been doing this on the Avalanche ecosystem. I've also been doing this on the Solana ecosystem, and today we're going to do it about Sushiswap. And Sushiswap has been around for a substantial amount of time. It came to existence shortly after DeFi became popular last summer, with most trading activity then happening on Uniswap, and Uniswap also had the airdrop back in the day, which accelerated quite fast in value. Sushiswap was basically a copy of Uniswap as it used its AMM curve without changing too much to the whole project. One thing that was added to Sushiswap was a token, which is called Sushi. Sushiswap had its token in August of 2020, whereas Uniswap followed this with an airdrop in September of 2020, as I just stated. The major difference was still the use of the token, whereas Uni lacked utility. Sushiswap allowed its holders to stake and receive a portion of the fees generated on the exchange, which proved quite popular. Sushiswap quickly rose in popularity and managed to get 1.2 billion in TVL. Well, right now it's 5.5 in TVL. So it has been growing massively, and if you check out the entire DeFi numbers, you can see that DeFi has been accelerating quite fast in the past 12 months. In the midst of the success, the anonymous Sushiswap founder, known only as Chef Nomi, decided to sell 8 million worth of sushi tokens on the market, which immediately caused the price of the token to tank as people instantly lost faith. Nomi admitted that he messed up and returned the 14 million that he had cashed out back to the treasury. At the same time, he handed over control of the project to FTX and Alameda CEO Sam Bankman. He then made an effort to move the control of the project back to the community by deploying a multi-signature wallet into Sushi smart contracts. This has all happened in the past 12 months. And Sushiswap is an ecosystem that's getting built quite massively. And we're going to discuss all of those. We're going to discuss the AMM, Trident, which is part of the AMM, KASHI, lending and leverage, Bentobox dApps, and we're going to discuss Onsen. So I hope you're going to enjoy this update. So looking at the AMM, the AMM is basically the core system of Sushi at this point. Of course, Sushiswap's core business is its automated market making DEX, which still uses the same price curve as when it launched last year. Without going too much in detail, liquidity is provided on an AMM along a curve on which the product of the two tokens is always constant. Those that provide the liquidity to a certain trading pair receive a fee for every trade that occurs in that particular pool. An issue people have with the current pricing curve that Sushiswap uses is the impermanent loss, which could cost liquidity providers a lot of money in case of high volatility in one of the two tokens of a pair. Uniswap had this as well, but released Uniswap version 3, which had a new mechanism for the pricing curve earlier this year. This was called concentrated liquidity. Uniswap v2 and v3 now both exist and are widely used. Well, Sushiswap recognized that it could not stay behind in the evolution of AMMs and had to at least do something similar to the popular concentrated liquidity of Uniswap v3, and therefore a big Sushiswap upgrade was announced in July of this year, which is called Trident, and we can see that here on the screen. One of its features will be concentrated liquidity. Trident is expected to launch before the end of the year, so we're getting quite close to the actual launch of a similar thing as what Uniswap has. In total, 4 different pool types will be introduced here, as the goal of Trident is to be a superset of all AMM pool designs at least. It also allows for easy integrations of added pool times in the future. And I'm just going to scroll down a little bit more. It's a very long update, which is on the medium of Sushiswap. So if you want to get into more information on this one, do not hesitate to go to the Sushiswap website. So there's 4 pools. The first one is the constant product pool. This is the current model of Sushiswap and Uniswap v2. It uses the price curve of x multiplied by I equals k and requires equal amounts of a trading pair to be added to the pool by liquidity providers. The second one, you can see it over here, it's the old formula, it's the constant product formula. The second one is the hybrid pool. The hybrid pool allows for a pool that consists of up to 32 different similar assets, and it's based on a stable swap curve. The third one is the concentrated liquidity pool. This pool is comparable to Uniswap's V3 version. Liquidity providers are asked to specify the token's price range that they wish to provide liquidity for instead of a possibly infinite price range that we are used in the traditional x multiply I is k model of the constant product pool. While this means significantly less in permanent loss, it can also result in a more efficient use of capital, as LPs can maximize the share of revenue within certain price ranges or boundaries, whereas the current model shares a portion of the pool revenue with all LPs in the pool. The last one that is going to be integrated right now is the weighted pool. The weighted pool is similar to the constant product pool, except for that the weighting of the tokens provided by LPs can be different from 50 to 50. Quote, a constant product pool has 50-50 weights of token X to token I. Weighted pools will allow an arbitrary weight of token X to token I. The advantage of this pool type is that it shifts the price impacts by the token weights. So these 4 will be integrated with the Trident update, and other pools will be added later. Franchise pool will focus on the connection with centralized exchanges such as Binance. The goal is to have Binance give its users the option to become liquidity providers on Sushiswap through a centralized exchange. Franchise pools will allow institutions to whitelist liquidity providers, and swappers is the plan. So Sushiswap has a good user experience, as we know. Uniswap is also being used a lot, and these two are quite common. Right now we can see that in multiple ecosystems like Avalanche and Phantom, we also get those DEXs, and they are all getting used, or people use them a ton. The only issue we have is the trading fees. So, as one of the few AMM DEXs out there, it even offers uses the opportunity to place limit orders, enhancing the user experience, which is different than with Uniswap, which is kind of impossible to do so. So, Onsen is the next one that we're going to discuss just shortly. Onsen is a liquidity provision reward system for tokens that are newly listed. So we can see a list of tokens that we've got here. And you can farm those. And on the right, we can see the APRs, which is still quite high. If you're in rebase tokens, we've got 50% APR. We also have other projects or farming options where you can get 200 to 500% API. Tokens part of the Onsen program will have a certain amount of Sushi tokens dedicated to them to incentivize liquidity providers. This is done to ease the burden of impermanent loss and attract more liquidity providers. So, whereas Uniswap has remained focused on Ethereum, Sushiswap has been looking further. It increased expanding beyond Ethereum and is currently active on 14 different blockchains. So we can see that the protocols that are on the ecosystem is not only Ethereum, but it's also different platforms. So what we see here is Ethereum, Binance, Solana, Terra, Avalanche, Phantom, Polygon, Arbitrum, Hiko, Celo. More of them are also, it's even expanding even more day by day. It's also XDAI and Moonriver are there. So yes, Sushiswap is not only there on Ethereum. And also in this chart, we can see the total value locked on all chains has been accelerating very fast in the past 12 months. So next one, Bentobox, and KASHI is part of Bentobox. Bentobox is a vault that holds tokens and generates yield from flash loans and strategies for any protocol built on top of it, such as the Trident update. Bentobox uses other projects for this as well, such as depositing tokens on Compound to generate lending yield. KASHI is the lending and borrowing platform is built on Bentobox. KASHI opens the doors to a new massive industry in DeFi for Sushiswap, as lending has been gaining tremendous traction as well, which is used in the traditional markets, but now we're also exploring the lending or at least multiple variations of lending in the DeFi markets. Lending pools are separate per token, so the risk of a token is isolated to that particular pool. The combination of this design of the lending borrowing portion with the DEX allows for Sushiswap to offer margin trading, something which is becoming increasingly popular, especially as centralized exchanges are seeing increased scrutiny when it comes to providing retail investors with margin trading solutions. So more capital will move to DEXs, one of which is the Sushiswap, and we just saw the increased amount of TVL being locked up. Another one that is into Sushiswap or an integration is MISO. MISO is what we all want to see happening on every platform, is a launchpad. We know Avalanche, we know SolRazor, I've also been discussing those, and on the Sushiswap we've got MISO. MISO is the launchpad of Sushiswap, and over the past year token sales have become popular again, as we know. People, or like everyone, is able to get into those. New projects occur constantly and often generate high returns for investors participating in the public or earlier sales. So demand among retailers remains high. MISO allows for the creation of tokens and everything surrounding token sales. These tokens can instantly be listed on the Sushiswap DEX as well, adding further value of the ecosystem. Small brief update, so if you want to read more on Sushi Chef, there's a nice topic on this one. The final one is SHOYU. If I say it wrong, let me know. SHOYU is the NFT platform, as NFTs have become massively popular in the past months too. Sushiswap is looking to enter the NFT space, and therefore it will launch SHOYU, an NFT launchpad and exchange. It will offer an immersive gallery for NFTs, display links, search function, chat option, NFT analytics. The NFT market has seen tremendous growth this past year and is still performing really well, as we can see in the chart over here, which is only showing massive gains in 2021. Yes, we've had a peak high, but since then still a constant flow of trading volume during the weeks. With about 210 million average on a week here happening, with most of it on OpenSea. So Sushiswap also has a token, which is kind of interesting to see, and it's all on the screen as you can see here. Sushiswap charges a fee for every transaction. A portion of this goes to the liquidity providers, and a portion of the fees goes to those that choose to stake their sushi tokens. This happens for the different projects like the NFT marketplace as well. It's a great model as it incentivizes users to buy and lock away supply in return for a portion of the revenue. As the adoption rate increases, so will the returns on staked tokens, and with that the value of Sushi. Sushi has a 250 million hard cap. The reach of the hard cap will be approximately 2 years from now. So that is also interesting to watch. At one point, if the hard cap is reached, similar to Bitcoin, the price value of such a project could be increasing if there is still adoption taking place. Let's look at some statistics at this point. Sushiswap remains one of the most popular DEXs, as it's only second behind of Uniswap. In the middle you can see the market share, in which we can see that most of the volume is in Uniswap with 18.3 billion. But second is Sushiswap, which is currently at 4.2 billion. And on the third place, we can see Curve with 1.7 billion taking places already. After that, we've got smaller ones, but Balancen, 0x Native, and Bancor. So Sushiswap is still a big one in the entire ecosystem. The entire list you can see on the left here. If you want to get more information, don't forget to go to Dune Analytics. Also, the volume and the liquidity has been growing massively as right now, and that's been accelerating nicely in a month. It went from 4.2 billion towards 5.4 billion locked up into the Sushiswap ecosystem at this point. The volume is also quite high. It used to be lower earlier, but right now the volume is already at 500 million a day. So that is the statistics at this point. Looking at the price action for Sushiswap, we can conclude that we're still quite far away from the all-time high. So we're still down about 45% at this point, but we are making new higher highs, we are making new higher lows. So continuation seems quite likely in this construction. What I want to see sustain on the price action here is this entire block. I would like to get some positions going if I'm interested in this block, as then we can start targeting the new Fibonacci extension target, which is around 21 bucks. Very simple approach. So the critical area to hold is the area around 11 bucks. And if that one sustains, I'm targeting 15 and 21 next. Looking at the Bitcoin pair, we can also see that we're still trending down heavily. So the actual impact or the actual rally still has to come, which I'm assuming is going to take place in Q1 of 2022, or at least at a later stage this year when Trident is becoming active or the hype around Trident is going to take place. And as you know, I'm heavily interested into the DeFi section and oracles, because those have been lagging behind heavily. And if you look at charts like Aave, Synthetics and Balancer, it is pretty much a copy-paste of the Sushi chart. Getting to a conclusion of Sushi. Sushi once started out as a simple copy of Uniswap, which introduced its own token and experienced a rough start. Since then, a lot has happened and Sushiswap has transformed tremendously. Besides remaining the number 2 DEX on Ethereum in terms of trading volume, it focuses on expanding to other ecosystems as well, and already has expanded to a large number to which new names are added regularly. It also continues to innovate, the most anticipated upgrade being the Trident upgrade, which is expected to happen soon and will tremendously improve the workings of the DEX, while also paving the way for institutional use of the app and probably going to give you some interesting ROI on the price action too. As institutional solutions are rare in crypto, this could be another major boost for Sushiswap. Its other features such as KASHI and MISO, which include lending, margin trading and a launchpad, further expand the actual market that Sushiswap operates in. With all these features, Sushiswap adoption is set to increase, and as Sushiswap has become an ever-evolving project, we can expect to see more in the future. The great thing about Sushiswap is also how its community can benefit from its success by getting a portion of the overall revenue made by Sushiswap. So, increased usage should directly lead to more revenue, which should drive the value for the token as well. I hope you have enjoyed this fundamental update, and I hope you have liked this update, and I hope you have subscribed to this YouTube channel, as I'll be back tomorrow with 2 fresh new updates. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be back soon.